Good morning, everyone. You're welcome, Todd. Everyone get an email? Hey, Kane. I'm pretty good. This here, and we got it. I do not. Yep.
Hey Matt, when's my camera coming?
Supposedly today.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Let me just put on YouTube and we'll be starting. Hope everybody's doing fantastic today. Hope everybody's having a great day. Let's see who's on YouTube, and then we got Water Cooler, we got Eduardo, we got Infinitely, we got Mark, we got Frankie, Wilford, Tony. We got everybody here.
Nice, Todd.
Tony, it's in the VIP room. I don't know where it is. I would ask Matt about that. He can probably help you. He's asking about Matt, he's asking about what you added to the VIP room yesterday. All right, let me now say hello to everybody on the regular stream. Say hello to everybody. We got Robert, we got Omar. Okay, Omar, whatever you say. Nice bread. Grab that from Bread, Matt. Uh, Gus,
Grabbed
hello
it.
there. Chad, Wade, Steve, Kevin, Rochelle, Ricardo. Got Nathan. You're welcome, Nathan. Robert, Phil, Richard. Thank you. I appreciate it, Richard. I do appreciate it. Uh, give a like on YouTube, guys. If you're on YouTube, give a like. If you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube and give it a like. Uh, DJ, how are you? Francis, how are you? Stacy, how are you? George, how are you? You're welcome, George. Larry, David. And so many people were arguing with me yesterday about that Leonard. The price, just take it and say thank you and go. Michael, Chris, Nestor, Rochelle. Hey, Kane, I've never seen a group of traders trying to be so resistant to making money in my life, you know?
Yeah, it surprises you sometimes, right?
They want to argue and argue and argue, and I'm trying to help, and they want to argue with me all the time. I get nothing but arguments. I get no respect. I'm like Rodney
Well, some
Dangerfield.
people like to be right versus make money, so it
Uh,
happens.
all right, guys. Today at 2 p.m., I am doing the A line. I'm doing the A line. What can I say? We've had 22 winners in a row. We haven't had any losers since last summer. And we can't figure out the profit factor. And I'll be talking about it at 2 o'clock today. I don't know how else to sell you on it. All right, I really don't. Carlos killed the pit this AM existing trade. Who took the Tesla trade from this morning in the pit? William, look at you. You show off you. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love seeing that. Love seeing that. Amy, how are you? Steve, how are you? Oh, we got a lot of people here. Rose, how are you? Kurt and Kane, how are you doing from sunny California?
I'm doing well. It's been a little rough the last couple of weeks for me in my personal life, but markets have been great. Everything else has been wonderful.
Well, I hope things come. I hope things work out exactly the way you do want them to.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
uh,
Thank you.
that's
Appreciate
that's
that.
my goal for you. Let me just put this in the testimonial, and we will begin. There we go. All right. Oh, look at that. You called it, and I was like, wait a minute. You just got in that a minute ago. Perfect. Nathan, good, 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 good. On my Tesla trade, I tried to sell a put and accidentally entered it backwards. I still made money. You're welcome, Troy. Yeah, holding it right now is fine. You're welcome. Good, 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 good. All right, all right. Let's begin. I have a lot to talk about today. Now, let me go ahead and share my screen. We'll go here. We'll go to TC 2000. Looking at a couple of things here. Just give me 1 second here. Yeah, I want to put in 1 second, folks. Just want to put in a quick trade. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second, guys. Trust me, I'm doing this for your benefit, not mine. Well, maybe mine too. Oh, here we are. Matt, do me a favor and put TWLO in my account. Okay, thanks. All right. I just wanted to send you guys a little alert here. All right. Please don't yeah, so please don't post it, okay? All right. So there was a couple of things I wanted to talk to you guys about. Let me just post it here. Okay. All right. Let me just okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Needed to take care of something. So, as far as the SPY is concerned today, oops. As far as the SPY is concerned today, you guys could see we're bouncing right off of the VWAP. We're down about 0.85. The price action on the SPY is so-so. We're coming back above the VWAP, which is encouraging. But but again, here's my problem, and I explained this morning. Look at equal weighted SPY. It's not humming right now. This is what the SPY really looks like, guys. This is what the market really looks like right now. Okay. This is what you're dealing with right now. This is what you think the market, this is what you think you're dealing with, but this is just 7 FANG stocks. Okay. So, man, I'm getting alerts on my phone is getting me an alert. One second. Oh, interesting. Netflix just hit the VWAP to the downside. Let's take a quick look at it. Or to the upside. Okay. All right. So be very, very careful because I'm going to tell you something, guys. There's not a lot. We're not at the 8-day EMA. We're extremely extended, as you could see here. Sooner or later, this will come down to the 8-day EMA. The problem is there's only a few stocks here. There's only a few stocks here. There's only 7 stocks, and they have a huge market cap, and they could really drive the market. But ultimately, and the best example I can give you, and I've given this example many, many, many times, is imagine you have a 200-pound Great Dane. Okay, just imagine you have a 200-pound Great Dane. Okay, and 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 that Great Dane is is a puppy. He's just a small little puppy. Okay, he's not a big dog. And this Great Dane of yours, this Dane is he likes to pull and push. But you're smart. You've been watching those Caesar shows. Do you guys remember those Caesar shows about the animal trainer? What was his?
Caesar Malone.
That's it. Remember that, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you guys are smart. You're watching those shows. And as you're watching those shows, the dog whisperer, you got the collar, you got the leash and everything, and you slowly teach that dog to heel. So this is the owner right here. This right here. This right here is the dog. This is the 200-pound dog that's never seen the light of day before. And this is the responsible adult. Okay. Look at the Dow Jones, by the way. Doesn't look all that different. So we got to be really mindful. Now, there's a silver lining here. What the hell's the silver lining, Roger? The silver lining is that the stocks that are moving up, like aggressively, well, it's a no-brainer. They're being bought up by institutions because if the market's doing this and you're seeing stocks coming up, it's kind of obvious. So it's much easier, much infinitely easier to um, to find stocks that are moving higher when the market's doing what it is doing right now versus what it was doing yesterday. Okay, just like a nice little note for you guys. You're welcome, Bob. You're welcome. Let me just see something here. Only 73 people on YouTube. We've been getting up to 100 every day, but I guess it's still pretty early here. So I want you guys to be very mindful of that. Okay. And I want you to understand you got to look at the market like an X-ray machine. You got to look through the whole thing. You can't just look at the, QQQ, say, oh my God, look how strong it is. No, no, no. This is not. Matter of fact, what was that equal weighted QQQ? Is it EW something? Let's see. What's equal weighted QQQ? I haven't looked at that one in a while. I usually don't. What is it? QQQE. Yeah, let's do that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's a couple of them, but here's a good one. Okay, so here's the QQQ equal weighted for you. It's still not looking bad, but it's not looking like this, right? It's looking a lot more subdued, although I don't hate it right now. But if you look at the broader Nasdaq, it's not even looking that good. It's most of them. I'm telling you, this is a really good representation of what the market looks like because that's the equal weighted SPY. And again, when they don't diverge and they don't diverge all that much, it's not a big deal. I don't make a big deal about it. Okay. Um, so just wanted to share that with you. That's the broad market. Now, the closer we get to the end of the year, look at that. We bounced right off of the 8-day EMA. Look at volume. We're about halfway done. Look at yesterday. The volume yesterday was 30 million. Folks, when we started the pit, volume was about 70 to 80 million on average. Let me show you. Matt, do you know we started the pit over a year ago?
That's crazy.
And we still have a 95% success win rate. Here. We started it, I think, right around my birthday, around here, maybe around here somewhere. Look at the average volume. 83 million shares. I'm telling you, it was around 80 to 70 million. That was the average volume. The average volume right now is 42. And yesterday the volume was 28. What exact number? 28.6 million. So it's very, very hard to surf right now. It's very, very hard to surf right now. Kane, do you agree with my assessment? If not, I'd really like to hear what you have to say about all of this.
No, absolutely. We're going holiday season, markets are thin, and then you'll notice bid-ask spreads widen out as well. So it just everything makes it harder to trade.
Funny that you mentioned that. I'm glad you see. This is why I like having Kane here. Perspective. Yesterday, Matt and I, do you remember? Deck was one of them. Remember, Matt? How many times did I say put in Deck? And you're like, the spreads are too wide.
It's the spreads.
The spreads are too wide. Every other word from this guy's mouth yesterday, like he never talks, but yesterday, the spreads are too wide. I like Deck yesterday. There was a couple. PayPal, remember PayPal? Have you ever seen spreads really wide on PayPal? I mean, PayPal. But yeah, Deck, there was a few specifically, Deck and PayPal. I kept telling him and I kept forgetting it. And he's like, I already told you the spreads are too wide. They just kept getting wider and wider and wider. So not really great for the market. Let's just see how Tesla's doing right now. Ugh. Oh, I'm glad we got out of it. And if you're swinging it, that's fine too. It still has a pretty good trajectory. All right. What's the appropriate spread we should use, Teresa? I can't give you that because it's all dependent on the distance and the strike and what's going on with the market. But I will tell you this: you will see it, you will know it, you will see it, and you will know it. If you look at a spread board, especially with me every day here, you'll see the ones we avoid. I avoid them in a second, or I tell you you're going to have to work the order. If you don't have to study it for months. Look at it for 3 hours over a course of a month, and you'll understand. And you'll understand why. Because if I say 50 cents, and then you'll say, well, what if the spread what if it's a $20 option? Then 50 cents is not all that much. So I don't want to give you that. I'd rather give you a case-by-case scenario where you could look at it and instantly know if the market maker's screwing you or he's a fair dealer. Real simple. Okay? Real simple. So we have a two-sided market right now. I'm not making any strong commitments to one direction or another. We have a lot of vulnerability, specifically in technology stocks that are just not looking great. And as I showed you over here on the scan this morning, you've got technology here and you've got semiconductors here. And obviously, if you have semiconductors here, technology is not going to be up here because a lot of these technology stocks are semiconductors. But nonetheless, I like to have them separately here. Although it doesn't really help us much. But I know a lot of you guys love semiconductors, and I love semiconductors. I started trading semiconductors because my father would put computers together, and I thought that I knew a little bit more. I thought that at that time that it would help me to know something about semiconductors. This is 30 years ago, 31 years ago in January. Anyways, you could see here we have some fragmentation. We have technology speculative, we have interest rate, we have blue chips here. But even though within that, you've got your home builders, you've got your semiconductors. Up here, you've got consumer staples next to mid caps. Mid caps should be next to Russell. Russell should be up here. It's next to retail. It's not. Interest rate. You've got a hot mess here. Yesterday, the number of stocks was, let me show you this. Yesterday it was, no, that's coming into this morning. Yesterday was 55 stocks strong, and 81. So this was how we came in yesterday. Okay. This is how we came in yesterday, which meant we have no, that's the other thing, Kane. Look at the number of stocks making 90-day breakouts.
Yeah, that's nothing. Yeah.
Right. So this morning it got a little hot. This one right here, it got a little hot. It went up to 149. So I said, we got something. But then right now, look at the market right now. 70. You don't have much firepower to the upside. What about downside? Just not much. I mean, less than 100. That's nothing. So there's just not much there. There's not much there. Okay? There's just not much there. Okay. How about that? Yeah, we'll talk about that one. Okay, so let's talk about stocks. We'll start with the short side. Oh, I was looking at Jets. This is an ETF that tracks airlines, I believe. It's looking pretty good. Something you guys may want to start looking at on a daily. These grinders are very hard to break, and it's like just getting in on a surf. Just get in somewhere around the 8-day EMA. I'll actually set an alert right now. For 1 week. These 8-day EMAs 1 week. VWAPs 1 day. These 1 week. That way you don't clutter up your whole, your dash. All right. So, and remember, folks, I am having a class at 2 o'clock, not at 1 o'clock, at 2 o'clock today. I'm going to talk about my A line. The A line has not had a loser yet. We'll talk about it. I may even give you some trades. Please don't miss out. It'll be worth your time. I promise you. Kay says, what does it mean to use money option at 5 strikes out? I'll show you right now, Kane. I mean, Kay, not Kane, Kay. Look at options right here. Option. Well, not a good example. Let's take Netflix, okay? It'll be easier with Netflix to go five strikes out. So right here, 925, 930. 5 points out. So you're buying the 925, selling the 930. Hypothetically speaking, Kay. So you use 5 strikes out. 5 strikes meaning 125 buy, 130. 5 strikes right there. $5. That means $5. 5 strikes. Strike price 925. Strike 930. Okay. You think $5 is wide on a $927 stock? Okay. If that's what you think. All right, I'm not going to argue. Let's do our stocks. Lennar. Now, I remember somebody telling you that this is a pretty good trade the other day. And you were arguing, and you don't understand, Kane. They were arguing with me yesterday. They just kept arguing and arguing and arguing. And then I got the thank you emails afterwards.
Well,
Yeah.
People just, they hard time believing.
They were upset. I struck a nerve. All right. I wouldn't be getting into this right now. I think it's probably a good time to take profits right now. There's just not much more momentum there. So I would get out of this right now. I just wanted to show it to you. Uber. Let's look at Uber. Actually, wait a minute. Sorry. I'm going back 1 day. Now I know why. Scratch that. That was my morning list. Now I know why I'm going backwards. CVS. Now we could start. CVS. Yeah, Philip, you're right. CVS. Put your stop loss right at the 15-day EMA, about 55. We'll look at options here. And I want to have a conversation with Kane about some psychological stuff, so I'll be pretty brief. All right, 29 days to go. CVS, January 10th expiration, 70 delta, 54 put. DLF. What a stinker, right? What a stinker. I would go right above this little price action right here, about 1235. Notice I do give cheap stocks sometimes to the short side. CLF 75 put, $12 strike price, January 10th expiration. The default expiration today is January 10th. KSS, finally a crappy consumer stocks. Now this is really interesting, and I'll tell you why. Look at retail right now. Look where I have an alert set right now on retail. XRT, where's my alert? Oh, it must have gone off. I'm going to have to set another one. Could have swore I set it this morning with all of us in the room together. 1 week. There we go. Okay. So you see how we're in a nice trend? And look at this KSS. Now, you know this stock is being sold off by institutions. Why? Think about it. All the retailers are going up right now, right? I would go right above this pivot. So you see you have a pivot right here, and the 15 days right below the pivot. Always go to the pivot. About $16, 1606 around there. 29 days out, 68 delta, 16 put. The stock looks beautiful. Look at the intraday chart and look at the daily chart. It's a nice looking chart. Very nice looking chart. What am I going to do? I'm going to set an alert at the above the 8-day EMA. Even better, RM. Even better. TTE. Grinder. You got a grinder here. You would go to... Come on, guys. Give a thumbs up on YouTube. There's 80-something people there. You guys can give a thumbs up. And all the rest of you can go to YouTube and give a thumbs up. Here's a link, actually. Don't be shy. There we go. Okay. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. We would go to January 17th on TTE because there is no January 10th. We would go to the 64 delta and we would go to the 5750 put. This looks weird. The dates here are weird. This TTE, but it is January 25th. Yeah, it's January 17th expiration. Yeah, January 17th expiration TTE. Right here, 64 put, 5750. Devon Energy. Oy. I don't know what to make of this, but I'm not going to buy this breakdown. I'm going to wait for it to hit the 8-day. Right, Matt?
Yep.
The word on the street is that Matt's going to start using TC 2002. At least partly. Can you imagine? I'm converting him little by little. I would just use the 15-day EMA or maybe just go a little bit above. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Very nice of you. Very kind of you. Hey, Scampy. Good afternoon to you, too. Let's now do the long side, and then I want to talk to Kane about some trading stuff. So, as I said to you earlier today, it's easy to find stocks that institutions are gobbling up right now, okay? Very, very easy because there's not a lot of stocks moving up. So if they're moving up with volume, it's pretty a pretty sure thing. So Hood. See something here. Hood. Stock looks fantastic. Look at how it's reacting right now. Look at the 8-day EMA. It looks beautiful right now. If I were Matt, I'd be buying it for one of our programs right now, but what do I know? $29 days to go, January 10th expiration, 68 delta, 37 call. Oh, he's still going to be using Thinkorswim. Don't worry. He's not going to give that ghost up. Palantir. Palantir. I like Palantir around here. It looks pretty good. I would just use this level as a profit target too. Not crazy about it today, obviously, but I like how the stock is looking. I'd probably go around here as a stop about 63, 64. And I would go about 30 days out to 70, 70. 68 delta right here. 68 delta. FFIV. Look at this breakout. That you know institutions are buying this stock. You don't have to wonder. Trust me, they are buying this stock. They're buying the stock as fast as they can get their grubby paws on it. At least till now, and I'm assuming they're going to continue doing what they're doing. I have no reason to see them. Oh, Scampy says I'm up $1,100 today on trades from the pit and the pre-market must watch. I like that, Scampy. Let me repost that. That's Scampy posting on YouTube. That's Scampy.
I got it.
Thank you. All right. Hopefully the spreads are tight. I mean, this is a perfect example where before spreads were like 30 cents, 20 cents, right, Kane? And look at these babies now. January 17th. Spready. You may want to do a spread by buying the 260 and going 10 strikes out to the 270. That's 10 strikes. See, 5 strikes, 5 points. 10 strikes, 5 points. 10 strikes equals points. Okay, 10 points out. So right here, just make sure you don't pay more than $6. 6 shekels, okay? Nice, JNS. Grab that one too from JNS. Palantir is reportedly being included in the, I think Palantir is already in the S&P 500, isn't it? Or did Dell win over? I think it's already in the S&P, no? That was a rumor a while back. Not yet? Okay. Roblox. Do you think the stock is being accumulated? Yes. Trust me, it's being accumulated. I don't know why it's being accumulated. That's a mystery to me, but it is being accumulated. I would use my stop right here. I honestly don't care for this stock, but it doesn't really matter what I think. 54.55, 29 days to go, 72 delta, 56 call. And trading is one of the few things which you really think makes absolutely no difference. You just got to keep doing the right thing. That's really what it is. How can I tell it's being accumulated? Well, look how strong this trend is. Do you think a big cap stock can just do this by itself? It's hugging the 8-day EMA. Every time it comes down to the AA, it's being bought up. It's making a new high yesterday. No, stocks that are making an all-time high when the markets are just drifting. Yeah. And lastly, I just wanted to kind of bring this up. Look, what's volume doing? Is volume declining? No. Yes. All right. CBRE. Nice looking stock right now. Thank you, Richard. See, now instead of me sending Richard stocks, which I still do, he sends me stocks, and I send him a thank you stocks in return. I like it. I like how it's all moving together. I would put a stop loss below this pivot. A little rule for you guys: when you're looking at a grinder like this, always set the stop below because the lows get higher. So if we break this low, we invalidate the uptrend. So you want to set a low right there, right below this level, because you will know 100% that if we break this low, then by definition, we don't have an uptrend anymore. See, I taught you something new today that you might have not known. Yes. Oh, I know, John. I'm talking from like a fundamental perspective. The company doesn't make any sense to me, which absolutely makes zero difference in my decision of whether I should buy the stock or not. As a matter of fact, the more I hate it, the more I'll probably be tempted to buy it. The more fundamentally I hate it, the more I'll probably be tempted to buy it because of how much I hate it fundamentally. And because I know that my mind is not telling me what I'm thinking and what I'm doing for trading have to be two different things. You can't let your mind be the driver when you're trading. Your mind is designed to lose money when you're trading. So you always have to, just like Tesla for me, Sean. Yes, thank you. Just like Tesla. I don't like the company. Do you see me not trading it? I don't like Musk and I don't like the company. And don't get political for me. It has nothing to do with his politics. It has everything to do with how he runs the company. Okay. I didn't like him way before he and Trump became friends. You guys all know that. I don't care for the guy. But it has nothing to do with how I'm willing to trade. I got that from a scanner I put together on StockFetcher. Who would have thought that? There you go. It looks like the A-line scanner, actually. Looks like a perfect A-line right here. Anyway, I like CBRE. This will be the last stock that I give you guys. The ticker's right here, 73 Delta, 135, 135 call. Right here, 36 days out, January 17th. Why am I not going January 10th? Because there isn't a January 10th. If there was, I would. But I like the stock. I like the stock quite a bit. Notice the intraday chart and the daily chart, they look the same. That's a big tell. Exactly, Paul, right? Love hating a stock and watching it. Yeah. Your personal observations and your personal biases should have absolutely zero to do with your decision-making skills and stocks, decision-making process and stocks. Right. The A-line scanner is great. Speaking of A-line, at 2 o'clock today, Matt, do you have the link? I'm going to do the A-line. Do you guys know what my biggest problem with the A-line is? My biggest problem with the A-line is, aside from having too many trading signals. Does anybody know? Can somebody answer my question? Jeffrey says yes. Okay. Do you guys know what my problem with the A-line is? Can you show people what? Yes, I don't have a loser. I can't calculate the profit factor. And I hope each and every one of you has that problem in your trade. Matt, we'll have to make up a losing trade just so we can calculate a profit factor.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, Kevin. Grab that from Kevin, Matt. All right. So I wanted to talk to Kane about something, and I want to hear. So please join me for A-line, and maybe Matt can find some cool A-line stocks for us for that presentation, and I'll probably find some too. It's not at 1. It's not after VIP room. It's at 2 p.m. I wanted to have a little extra time to trade today, so we're doing it at 2 p.m. because I like the market for what I'm doing right now, and I'm looking for some cash flow trades and some A-line trades. So anyway, so bear with me, and we're going to do it at 2 p.m., and I promise I'll make it worth your while. That sounded dirty. I promise I'll make it worth your while. So, Kane, I wanted to talk to you about an interesting topic, and I want to know how you got over it, and I want to talk about how I got over it, and then I want to see how it resonates with folks here. Okay. And I don't really have an agenda because I don't really have to leave at 1 o'clock because my webinar is not till 2, so I can stay a little longer. So my question to you, Kane, is traded an earnings ticker. Yeah, all years. A lot of traders, we're getting to a point where a lot of folks conceptually know what they need to do, and they got their charts set up, they're getting their alerts set up, they're finally going beyond the theoretical stage, and they're finally they're seeing the rainbow. They can't taste it yet, but they could see that it's possible. They could see that it's possible to make money, that this is not some kind of a cockamamie, fast get rich money making scheme. They could see that this is real. This is, professional traders doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. So my question is this: how did you get over the analysis by paralysis? And I'm going to presume you had it because I had it, and you're a very analytical guy. And usually, the more analytical you are, the more it gets you. So, and this is, folks, where you've got a perfect chart, either I give you a signal or you get a signal yourself and there's nothing wrong and you're like, and you start second guessing yourself and you miss out on a trade. How many of you have done that before? Let's see. Just say yes if you've ever done that before.
That's got to be everyone.
Watch. Nobody. That's like the first time I asked if anybody has mind issues, control. No, everybody's like, no, we don't have any emotional issues with trade. No. All right. Okay. So obviously, I'm talking about something that everybody has. I rarely have. Now, seriously, never thought possible. It's not about whether you have losing days or not, Brett. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about not FOMO, Dale. Nothing to do with FOMO. FOMO is fear of missing out. This is the opposite of FOMO. This is overthinking the trade and missing it, overthinking it. Like, am I missing something? Always looking for the perfect trade before you enter, making excuses why you shouldn't enter the trade. FOMO is when you can't wait to enter the trade. This is the opposite. Your FOMO is when you're going to give yourself every reason to get into the trade. This is where you're giving yourself every reason not to get into a trade. Hopefully, yes, that's what I said, paralysis by analysis. So it's the opposite, okay? It's not FOMO. Yeah, fear of getting in. Fogey, yes, fear of getting in, Tim. That's it. I like that. So still what battled the most. So let's forget about FOMO for a minute. Let's talk about the other side of the coin. Let's talk about this. So obviously, okay, YouTube, everybody has this issue. Bob, different problem. Richard says you start searching for the reason why not to take it, and by the time you're done, the perfect entry's gone. Exactly. And then you get FOMO afterwards. And then you kick yourself and say, God damn it, I should have taken that trade. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Yes, Concord Instrument Panel, Carlos. Yes. That's you can't. I don't know how you would make a decision looking at that, Carlos. I wouldn't be able to make a decision. We all do it this week. We all do it. Everybody does it. So now that I got your attention, it's one of the biggest things that plagues traders when they start out. How did you overcome that?
Yeah, it was a great setup. For me, I was very lucky early on in my career. I had a trader come to me and tell me that I was struggling with the same thing. It's like, should I do it? Should I pull the trigger or not? And I asked the guy who was senior to me, and he looked at me and he goes, Kane, you've got to make the best decision you can with the information that you have right now. He told me every minute you wait, you can possibly get more information. Every day that you wait, you will get more information. And maybe you'll end up, that information will tell you that your decision ends up being wrong. But you can't worry about that. You can only make the best decision you can with the information at hand. So it's sort of like saying, I can't raise my hand tomorrow. I can only raise my hand now. I can think that maybe I'll raise my hand tomorrow, but I can only take action right now in this moment. I can't take action yesterday. I can't take action 5 days from now. I can only do that right now in this moment. There's also a quote, I believe, from President Reagan, where he said, someone asked him, like, oh, how did you make so many great decisions? Like, how come every decision you made was right? And he said something to the effect of, oh, you misunderstand. I made the decision, and then I did everything I could to make sure that it was right. So that speaks to having your trading plan and knowing that what might happen, because you might be wrong. And if I am wrong, what am I going to do about it? So if you have that plan in place, it gives you confidence and say, hey, well, if I'm wrong, then I might lose X amount of money, and that's perfectly okay because that's within my risk parameters. And so if I end up losing X amount of money and it's perfectly fine, then what am I hesitating for? Just go and pull that trigger.
And so basically you had somebody kind of wake you up to it and say, hey, there's only so much you're going to do. There's only so much you're going to do. In my case, I'm going to tell you what happened. In my case, I had a really bad analysis by paralysis because I'm very analytical and I love to analyze everything. And what would happen was, what I found was this, that after I had a set of winning trades, after I said, let's say I had, I don't know, 5, 10 winning trades in a row, my analysis by paralysis would go away. And when I would start having a losing streak, that analysis by paralysis would come up. So my analysis by paralysis was dictated by how I'm currently doing in the market. And what I realized was that basically it's the same form as it's basically what I was doing was I was creating scenarios in my mind based on how I was doing till I realized something very, very important. The market, which I'm actually trying to gauge, doesn't know me, doesn't know who I am, doesn't know my name, doesn't care about me, doesn't give a rat's you know what about my share size or my trade size. Basically, I am nothing. So what I am doing is I'm trying to reflect. What I'm doing is I am projecting how I feel on the market, right? I'm projecting how I'm feeling on the market. And the market doesn't care about me in any way. So basically what I'm really doing is it's like let me give you a good analogy of that. It's like you being rejected by a person, but that person doesn't even know who you are. Do you see what I mean? You feel reject. It's like you write a letter to your favorite actor or your favorite actress because you're in love with them, right? And they don't respond back to you, right? And you start imagining things in your head based on what they're thinking about you, but they're not thinking about you. Your analysis is the cause of the paralysis. So my point is you're you're reflecting on something or you're using something to distort your clear analysis when you were analyzing. You're having something that's distorting it now, which is actually completely sabotaging you and overcoming the good analysis that you did. And when I realized that, when I internally understood that, I understood what I'm doing is I am healthy right now, but I'm telling myself that I am sick. Would you ever do that? No, that's something a crazy person would do. So stop doing that. But I had to internalize it. I had to understand it. I had to come in terms with that. You can't just hear me say it and say, "Oh, okay." You have to think about it. You have to think about it. Remember a long time ago, we were here. A long time ago, and I was here, and I was saying how, and I gave you an interesting story, and I think Kane was here too. It's like the people who work at a rehab. Okay, they get a person who comes in. The person is drunk off their you know what. They're drunk. They're going to be drunk for the next 6 hours. They're going to agree with whatever you want. They're going to agree to whatever condition you want. That's not the person you want to be speaking to. You want to be speaking to the sober person who hasn't had a drink in 20 hours. You want that person. And again, I'm not trying to this is just an analogy. You want to talk to the person who's really craving the alcohol. That's the person that needs to make the commitment, not the person who's sitting there going, "Oh, yes, I'll agree. Well, I got to stop drinking. I got to stop drinking. This is a big problem." No, 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 no. So imagine now that sober person thinking about his decision process when he was drunk. That's what I am doing when I'm doing that. I'm basically completely thinking of something and making something up in my head that has absolutely nothing to do with reality. Okay? All right. So you guys understand
I
that?
think along those lines, like a great question to ask yourself, like as you're analyzing and not taking action, is like, am I thinking about what if or what is? What if something or what is something? Oh, it's breaking above the EMA 8. That is what is happening. What if it pulls back? What if it breaks down back below the EMA 8, back below to my stop? That's a what if. Or in one of maybe a Roger style metaphor, if you ask the girl for the phone number and she gave it to you, what is fact is that she gave you the phone number. What if is what if she doesn't answer? What if she doesn't like me? What if she thinks I'm boring? Or the other way around, that you gave the guy the phone number. What is true is that he asked you for the phone number, and you might, oh, is he going to call me? Is he going to this? No, the fact is he asked you for the phone number, right? So are you thinking about what if or what actually is?
Yeah. Always be in the now. If you're in the now, another thing that really helps me, not right now, but a lot of things that helped me is, you know how I write on the Telegram, how I'm always taking notes on Telegram? Well, when I do my morning review with you guys, that's the review is what's driving the market, not what's in my head right now. I have to think back. When I drive to work, what happens is I get into the car and I usually dial Matt's phone and I give Matt a 10-minute version of the hour that I spent with you. Hey, Matt, for like this, right, Matt? Isn't that what we
Yep.
do every? So I'm driving to the office. Hey, make sure my computer's on. Make sure everything's on. By the way, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at this. The mags are strong. This is weak. Bonds are right at the 50-day moving average. Like almost like he's talking to me. So when I come into the office, everything else is irrelevant. But Roger, I just took 3 losers. I'm gonna. This program's not working. No, no, no. Those 3 losers have nothing to do with going forward. They happened in the past. Okay. So try to do that. Try to stick into now and realize that a lot of you have that. Now, what Lawrence said, I still have an approach avoidance issue. Lawrence, approach avoidance issue has to do with you not understanding and having confidence in what you are doing. That's very, very different. Very, very different. If you don't have confidence in what you are doing, all right, if you don't have confidence in what you are doing, it's okay to have analysis because you're not 100% sure. But if you know, and I'm making this up as I'm going along, but let's say you have a system, and your system is, I look at the Pro Trader dashboard in the morning, I look for half an hour, I find the 3 top stocks, I put an alert on the one that comes closest to the VWAP, like the bell right now. That sounds like an alert
Sorry.
right there.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's what Richard says. That's what I had to go get over, understanding that the last 3 trades had no impact on the ones I was going to place today. Matter of fact, let me give you even a better lesson on that. Okay, let me tell you what Richard did yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Day before. The day before yesterday, we were in this trade right here. In this trade right here. We got in right here and we got stopped out right here. 90% of you would have said, "Oh, I got stopped out. I'm done with the trade." You know what Richard did? He went in again. Why? Because it broke the 8-day EMA. Richard, did you wait for it to break the 8-day EMA before you went in? I'm assuming you did, but I'm just going to ask just to see. Yeah, you did. Okay. Yeah. He didn't let this down impact. He didn't let what happened with this. Oh, I lost money on that stock. I'm not going to go back in. It has nothing. One has nothing to do with one another. Start thinking like that. One has nothing to do with one another. All right. Trade what you see, not what you anticipate. Right. Like if Tesla goes above the VWAP again, I may be inclined to take it again today. I don't know if I will, but I may be inclined to take it again today. Because I still like it because nothing changed from this morning, except the price is even better than it was earlier today. So again, please try to catch yourself in these mind traps. If you can identify your mind trap, you are much further along. Okay. Dave says, I did that with Kane's last trade. Sorry about that. Last week I sold it twice in one day for a profit. Why not? Exactly. So anything else you want to update us on, Kane? Anything else you want to talk? My folks haven't seen you in a while. Anything else you want to share with us? But I thought
No,
this was
just say,
because I wanted to get your perspective on how another pro deals with that. And I think every couple of days we're going to deal with this, folks. More psychological stuff. You guys need it a lot more than I ever expected. So
yeah, and I think if you have this is for like professionals or people who have larger portfolio size, but one way to get over paralysis is also is to is going to sound stupid, but it's to take action, right? Paralysis is the inability to take action. So to get over it, you take an action. So how do you do that? Because you're not able to take action. You take a small action. You take a tiny action. You say, okay, well, if I normally trade 10 contracts, I'm going to trade 2, or I'm going to trade 1. Or, if I can only afford 1 contract, well, then I'll paper trade it. So at least you didn't get stuck. At least you did something. And then you have a data point in your mind. It's like, oh, if I had actually taken that trade, this would have happened, that would have happened. And now in the future, when you see that same setup, you're going to have that new data point in your head and say, hey, that would have worked out. I would have made a whole bunch of money. And so that paralysis becomes weaker the next time around.
Exactly. Yeah, and it will. If you say, no, I'll do it next time, you're just reinforcing that bad feeling. Yep. Practice it. Yeah, just do it. And I'm going to tell you another thing. 1 share. It's very easy to get into good habits with 1 share. You're testing a system. Do it with 1 share. Don't do it with 1,000 shares, or you'll be paralyzed for a good long time. I don't have Angie, I have an email for those type of things that you can email me. Nobody else except you cares about GM, so I'm not going to take anybody's time with that right now. Send me an email if you guys care. All right, folks, at 2 p.m. in an hour and 5 minutes, I'm going to do something very, very cool. And we're going to try to have Kane on once or twice every week because I like Kane a lot and I want him on here and I value his opinion. So Matt is going to repost the link in both YouTube and here, right, Matt?
That's right.
Right. So remember, at 2 p.m., I'll be there. I'm going to talk about the A-line, which we have not had a loser trade yet. Let's keep our fingers and toes crossed, which I'm doing right now. And I'll see you there. And Kane, thank you so much for all your help and support. And can't wait to see you and hear about you next week. And I'll reach out on Slack to you shortly. All right.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's great being here.
Guys,
Thanks, everyone.
I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for everybody. And I'll see you in 1 hour. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
1 hour.